Here's some more upcoming projects to the channel that you'll see eventually, maybe. This one right here, 51 F1. I've already stuck a small block in it. It's supposed to be a 302, but when I pulled the intake off, it had these tiny little runners on it. So if it's a 302, it's definitely choked, but it runs good, so it'll work good in a light truck. This body is pretty rough, but I did pick up in a storage auction a bed and all the fenders and hood, everything that's been body worked, everything but a cab. So you can see all of that in a future video, hopefully. Still got the straight front axle in the front. These springs are broken. I got spares. Don't know if I'm gonna just fix it or do Mustang 2 or Crown Vic swap, something. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. This right here was my dad's Falcon. I ended up buying it from my brother. Little 6-cylinder car. I sold the motor out of it. I've got a Windsor, a 5-speed, and an 8-inch spool, so I didn't think I needed the 6-cylinder. The body is pretty decent on it. And my dad had the interior redone, but that was 30 years ago. Hopefully it's still decent. I'd like to just slap the motor and tranny and stuff in there and do some videos with that. We'll see if that ever happens. And this here is my grandpa's truck. Got that from my grandma about 10 years ago. Put some tires on it, did an oil change, got it running, and it's been used basically once a month ever since. Brought it back over here, do some work on it. 10 years, it's almost time for oil change. The gas gauge doesn't work. The fuel filler sucks. Put in more than a half trigger and it starts pouring gas out. As you can see, this body here is a little rough. The only bad part about the whole truck. The plastic in the gauges was so yellowed you couldn't even read it. I tried to clean it with one of those kits, but wasn't happy. And it's cheap to just order new plastic, so there's new plastic on the way. Gotta slap that in there. Get all the spiders out of here. Hate spiders. Clean this thing up. And that's all we're gonna do to it for now. Not gonna do any body work or worry about rust or anything right now. Try and get it cleaned out. Got weeds growing in the back. Really like these caps my grandpa put on there in like the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. So there'll be an upcoming video on just doing some maintenance on this. This here, another Falcon wagon. I picked this one up. It's got a small block in it. It's got an 8.8 in it. It doesn't run so good. Definitely doesn't stop. I drove it in here and parked it. Came with a lot of spare parts. Pretty solid car. Came with some disc brakes for the front end, so I have to do that swap too. Some sway bars. It's a pretty decent car. So hopefully we'll see this project on there too. Probably wouldn't take too much. So just some minor things, get it going. Front end's been wrecked and the sheet metal's been replaced, but the inner fender and all that stuff's pretty wrinkled. Not going to do anything about it right away, but eventually. And the back's got a crunch, but it's a solid car. So no roof rack though. The only thing I hate about wagons when they don't have a roof rack. Hopefully we'll get some videos with this, get it running, cruising around a little bit, something. And this over here case you haven't noticed, got a thing for station wagons. This here is a 67 Coronet wagon. I got this about 30 years ago. Not because I like Coronets, but because I got a thing for Chargers. And they didn't make a Charger station wagon. So I'm about to. I got a 66 Charger, cut it up. Again, that was 30 years ago. I probably wouldn't do the same thing now. We got the, can't see it through the window, but we got the 66 Charger grill, headlight assembly, motors, all that stuff. We also got the full tail light, everything. I got all that to put into this body. We got all this stuff to make it a stick. I also got manual steering in there, more parts to make it a stick. It's a good solid car. Needs a lot of work. Some other junk parts in here. I even got the side scoops in here somewhere off the Charger. Stick those in the doors. Have a Charger station wagon. I think that'll be pretty cool. Other people may not agree. It doesn't have a roof rack, but if it's got an RT stripe going all the way around the top, I don't think it'll matter. It'll look cool. And then over here, this you'll definitely see in some upcoming videos. Maybe not right away, but this thing needs a lot of work. This thing went to the paint shop, got a paint job on it. That's as far as I got. Now it just sits here. So I'll definitely be doing some stuff to that. And then you'll definitely see some burnout videos. This just has a junk motorhome 440 in it. But it can be a lot of fun, a lot of torque, not a lot of horsepower. But what you're going to see most of soon is this. I got to hurry up and build this for the 50s Derby in August. It's not a lot of time. It's not a good car to use. It's not a strong car. It's probably worth more to sell it in parts or to build it or something, but that wouldn't be as fun. And it's definitely not going to win, but it'll look cool. And that's all that really matters in the Derby. After I finish the series with this in it for the Derby, probably do a video on rebuilding this trailer. This thing's all twisted, boards are all rotted out, fenders are all beat up. The back of the trailer actually fell off when I was loading this car, and I had to come along it to the body so I can drive it over here, and good thing it didn't fall off. So definitely need to do repairs there. Now the best part about this whole car, besides looking cool, if you look closely down there, there's 3 pedals. I'll buy almost any car if it's got 3 pedals. This here is a spare body for my grandpa's truck. This thing's only got surface rust on it, a few little dings. Compared to my grandpa's truck, this thing is solid. Probably never get around to putting this body on there. Maybe I'll just see if this one runs. It's got the motor, everything in it. It's complete. Probably run. But if I ever want to completely fix Grandpa's truck, got a spare body here. Here's some more projects we got to work on. This old tow motor forklift actually works pretty good. Has no brakes though. So might do a video changing a master cylinder, something like that. Gotta park it on wood. Cause left it in the dirt last year and the thing sank all the way up to the body there. Took a couple weeks to get it out. A couple tractors, truck, a winch, all kinds of stuff. Big pain. Don't want to repeat that. This here, any guesses? If you guessed Y-framer, you're wrong. This is a future project. It's a 64 Merc. I was getting around to put a motor in it. No, I didn't put a 428 in, but I thought about it. Right now, it's only got a 390 in it, but I only have one hand. One hand and there's no hood hinges, so too difficult to open. But I junkyard rebuilt the 390, so it's just shiny. And maybe I'll get around to actually putting it on. Finish hooking it up. Difficult with one hand. But there you go. The 390 did run good. Been freshened on the outside. Used some junk valve covers that I had in the garage. Some NOS Pro Stock tall valve covers. Hit the master, booster, probably have to change them. Intake that was lying in the shed, bead blast it, throw it in there. Got electronic ignition in it. Just gotta finish hooking it up. Here's some more projects. This isn't exactly a Y-framer, but it's pretty close. This one actually has a good running engine in it. Don't know if it's a 383 or 361. Didn't bother to check, but that could be useful in some future projects. This right here, this is what was used at Magnaforce to build the front suspension. So I would like to try one of their kits and see how well it did. This is not a factory lightweight car, even though it is now. So this obviously will be for the Derby. And this 300 here will end up in the Derby. But what I was saying about the other 300, why couldn't they have a cooler dash in it? Something like this, or something out of one of the other Chryslers. Would like to get around to building a 68 300. I also got some Falcon wagons. There will be at least one build video, maybe two, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This one's a pretty decent V8 car, but this is a 6-cylinder car here. When I bought the Squire wagon, had it loaded up, they said, don't forget the spare. So they took me in the backyard, they showed me this wagon with a bunch of tires in it. So I thought they wanted me to take all the tires out of it. And they said, no, you need the spare wagon. And I did not argue. It's a 6-cylinder car. It's actually really straight. Thinking about doing a turbo T-Bird motor in there, 2.3 with a 5-speed. It's a really light car, lighter than a T-Bird. I think that would move and nobody would expect it. Also get 30 miles to the gallon. I'd love to do that build. Don't know that I'll have time for that. I want to do some experimenting with some solar power too. There might be a video on that. I've been collecting pieces. So we'll see what happens with that too. Here's a few more future projects. Got a low mileage 68 Charger here. Big block car. It's got 3 pedals also. Do some videos with that. Decide which motor to put in it. It's got a 383. Does it get a 392 Hemi? Does it get a 440? Leave the stock 383? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. And over here, another project car. And again, 30 years ago, these cars weren't worth very much. So making it 4-wheel drive and putting 35-inch tires on it, not a big deal. We will definitely be doing some videos with this. It's only got a small block in it, but might be better for wheeling, better weight transfer. Maybe for jumping. I don't know about all that. And then we got a crew cab Ford over here. Do some videos with that one. Parked it 20 years ago because I think it has a dead cylinder. Never bothered to diagnose it. So maybe I'll do that and then find out it just needed a spark plug or something and I never needed to park it. You don't see crew cabs very often. That makes it cool. Now the roof is pretty beat up. Got some rust, major rust. I'm afraid if I get on the freeway the thing will blow out. That makes the whole truck look bad. But this truck is actually it's really solid. People just look at the roof and think this truck is crap. But the truck itself is pretty solid. Good workhorse. Now this thing's got a 390 in it. And I have a spare 390 just in case, but then I was thinking about Cummins swap, all that other good stuff. Don't know where we're gonna go with it, but if you guys subscribe to the channel, like these videos, you can find out where I'm going, because I don't even know.